Okay, and we are back with another video. Um, Something that I wanted to spend a few moments talking about with this particular video is a bit of a touchy subject, but and a bit controversial, but also I feel like it's really important, especially in today's digital age where everything is all about instant communication and being able to get in touch with people. And it's just I originally planned to do a blog on this, but I feel like a lot of the emotion that I wanted to convey with a video would be more appropriate. And the topic for the next few moments will be on online dating. I mean, most people, when they hear the phrase online dating, they immediately think of sites like Match.com, Zeus, Tinder, the Tinder app, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, um, and to a lesser extent, Backpage.com and Craigslist Personals. Um, I have no problem saying that for I want to say the last 14, 16 months now, I've been checking out a lot of these dating websites just to see what the deal with these things are. On the one hand, the industry on dating websites, and yes, it is a multi-million-dollar industry, really challenges the phrase "you can't put a price on love." And one thing that these dating websites have proven beyond reasonable doubt is yes, apparently you can, and it really is something else. And as someone who learned, as someone who has a more old school approach to dating in general, it really is very interesting, and also it's very interesting. Number one, very disappointing. Number two, and also unsurprising. Number three, that online dating and old school and traditional dating um, often don't mix very well. I mean, I've talked to a lot of different people, both men and women, who have dabbled in online dating for much longer than I've been alive, apparently. And a lot of the reasons that people get into online dating is number one, they don't want to have to go to a bar or a church or anything like that in order to find someone. And it's like, it's I'd say for a lot of people, even if you're dedicated, even if you're pretty sure that you're not going to get married or anything like or commit to a long-term relationship, it's like a very humanistic, a very natural desire to just have a companion in life. And unfortunately, as with many of the things online, it's just like the old saying goes: if it looks too good to be true, it usually is. I believe I made a blog post about this last year, but one of the more interesting things about the most popular I'd say the top 15 to 25 dating websites is something that they're doing, which is pretty underhanded, is when you make a profile with one of their sites, there permanently, and apparently there's one of the malicious thing that's been happening because you can deactivate them, but you can't actually delete them. And one of the huge things of concerns that have come from that kind of a practice is hackers and botters have been breaking into deactivated dating website profiles, reactivating them, and just pretty much rebranding them as someone else entirely. And what was you if you happen to have your credit card information on file? I had a pretty interesting email exchange this morning actually with two people who nearly had their credit cards run up to excess of $2,000 over a 6 month span from hackers that broke into their deactivated dating websites profiles and not only cleaned up redid the whole site, but used their card information to make all these erroneous charges. And it's like, it's pretty scary. I mean, on that note, at the same time, one thing that is a definite fact about, I'd say 99% of all dating websites is the site's admin team and their staff actually go so far as to make fake and catfish dating profiles to try to lure people with new members and to pressure them into buying premium services. And then once you start buying premium services, you find that if you want to do more, you have to pay more money. It's basically a vicious pyramid scheme, more or less, to pretty much empty your bank accounts as quickly as possible. And as messed up as it sounds, it's been proved very effective. And like I said at the beginning, these online dating is a multi-million-dollar industry, unfortunately. And it kind of does ask the question, in terms of the question, are there any reliable dating websites out there? In short, the answer is no, unfortunately. And this includes the sites that have free messaging, such as Plenty of Fish and OkCupid. I mean, I do have a profile with both of those sites, actually, on that note. But um, obviously, I didn't use my real name, and I definitely didn't use my a picture of my real face. I mean, there's a lot of scammers and con artists out there, unfortunately, and you can't be too careful. I mean, when I made the decision to start to really look into these online dating sites, number one for research, and number two because I really wanted to find out what if there was any if that was even possible to find someone in that way, and I took some extra precautions in terms of setting up a separate email account, separate picture, pretty much a completely different identity, and just to make sure that if just make sure that I don't know if the other person is who they say they are, and you can't be too careful. I mean, of course, if after after talking to someone, after talking to someone, and I'm able to figure out pretty quickly if this person is legit or not, then yeah, I will let them know, just so you know, this isn't actually me, and if they're still interested, we'll just go from there. And in terms of having actually met someone in person from that, no, I haven't, but I have talked with several people, and with a small handful, we still keep in touch now through email or texting. I mean, nothing serious, just pretty much pen pal situation, more or less. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, a pretty interesting setup going on. Um, I mentioned this earlier, but in regards to certain other websites like Backpage.com and Craigslist, having a separate email account really does help you big because of all the spam. And I forgot to say this before, but if you're a guy, you are 10 times more likely to get a lot of spam from fakes, catfishers, and scammers out there. It's crazy. I have talked to a lot of women who've still communicated to me. They get a lot of messages from guys that are clearly just looking for sex or physical relationship only, or an affair in many cases. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys thought when AshleyMadison.com went down, that would have been the end of it. But nope. All those cheaters and people looking for an affair, they just simply went back to the other dating websites. That's all. I mean, really is something else. But yeah, you really have to be careful out there in general. And as the saying goes, if it looks too good to be true, it usually is. I mean, one of the upsides to using Plenty of Fish and OkCupid though is you do have the free messaging thing going on. So what you can do if once you're pretty sure that the other person is being honest about their intentions and is really pretty comfortable about it, you can exchange contact information and go from there. So you definitely do have that if you choose to go with either of those sites. I mean, I've heard a lot of things about Tinder, but in my own experience, I still don't know anything about it. It supposedly has a connectivity with Facebook, but I haven't been able to connect with anybody or anything like that with my or having anyone contact me through using the Tinder app. So who knows? I don't know. I'm assuming it's also the area because one thing that I've become pretty aware of is for some reason, me being a Boston guy, a lot of people are not willing to come to Boston. A lot of people are either what they're looking for and something about this area. I don't know. It's just not. It's just weird. I don't see what the problem is with. I don't know see why people have a problem with um, dealing with Boston. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I mean, there's a lot of great things about the city and its people. So then again, I'm really touchy about the city as well. But I'll save that bit for another video podcast. Back to my earlier train of thought, though. For those that are seriously looking for someone, you just got to be patient. Whether you use traditional means or online dating, I mean, you have a better chance of being struck by lightning, and you get a better chance of being struck by lightning, or winning the lottery, or getting drafted by the NBA tomorrow, or any other sports league or whatever. You have a better chance of that happening than finding someone just for you through online dating. I mean, that's how your odds are pretty much. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but it is what it is. And for those that are wondering why this is going past 10 minutes, I just got it like that, pretty much. I mean, in terms of connecting with people online, I feel like if you just want someone to talk to, and you're not really serious about finding someone or anything like that, your best bet is to just go through is just go through Facebook or another social media platform. I mean, it takes a lot of the pressure off, and it's much easier for you to for the other person to not get any misunderstandings. I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy that you really have to spell out no, I don't want an affair, no, I don't want an NSA, no, I don't want a one night stand, no, I'm not looking to fool around. It's really crazy that you really need to do that either on if you're posting an ad on Craigslist or if you're using a dating website or anything like that. It's pretty crazy because there actually are people that are for those who really it's crazy. I mean, I'm laughing a little bit, but it's really true. I mean, I know women get it a lot, but guys get it too. I mean, it's crazy. They're not just real people; they're also botters and scammers, mostly based in Russia and India, who are targeting Americans on these different social media platforms and websites to try to milk them for every dime that they have. So you really got to be careful out there, and that's the main reason that I use and assume that I use a different name and identity when I deal with these dating websites as well as Craigslist, because you really can't be too careful these days. I mean, it's better to be. I'd rather people be mad at me for not being upfront about my real face and name up front, than to be use my real identity up front and then have my identity stolen. And as someone that has had that has had erroneous charges made to their bank account in the past, that's something that I'm very sensitive about. And by the way, this is Gatorade, but yeah, it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't take seriously enough until it actually happens to them. So for those of you that may be wondering, what if I just want to just find someone that wants to hang out or talk to? And one of the interesting things I found is, like I said before, everybody wants companionship, whether it's friendship or something more, or just someone that doesn't mind talking for a few hours for a few hours a day or anything like that, or for a few hours a week even. It's social media is a pretty safe bet, specifically Facebook. And I don't work for Facebook. I want to make that clear. And I have my own issues with Facebook, obviously, personal issues, but Facebook's a pretty safe bet. Stay off Twitter. Twitter is a waste of time. I'd say get a WordPress account and just start blogging like I have for like 5 years now. It's a pretty great way to put yourself out there and just tell people, and also show people where your passions lie, what kind of person you are, what you're thinking about, stuff like that. It's a pretty great idea. Another thing you can do is obviously make videos like I have been doing. I mean, this is my getting close to 70 videos now on this account. So yeah, that's a very viable option. People are able to You're able to communicate with people pretty much unscripted, like I do with pretty much all my videos, and you're able to show people pretty much the real you, and it will give people. I feel like you get a bit more respect if you just. I feel like it's much more for me. It's like, yeah, there have been times pretty much throughout almost all my videos where I might come up as repeating the same thing over and over again, or just talking in circles and stuff like that. But I feel like there's something it's much better than just coming off trying to fake your way through a conversation with somebody, or just trying to present yourself as someone that you're not. I mean, I am who I am, and I am who I am. I don't try to be anyone else. I don't try to pretend to be anyone else. I mean, even with the whole assumed fake identity thing that I'm doing with these dating websites, once me and the other person are pretty comfortable, then I say, okay, look, since if we're gonna keep this going, I'm gonna be real with you and just go from there. It's not that hard. Um, yeah, it's about being careful, and like I said before, I see no reason to feel any kind of embarrassment or shame over the fact that I've been actually dealing with dating websites in the past. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone in my someone I'm pretty sure an acquaintance of mine that somebody came to mind would probably say like, yo, if you want someone that bad, I can hook you up with so and so. And I'm like, why would I want to do that? It's the same as my job search right now. I prefer to do things in my own way. I mean, I'm not saying I'm just gonna stick to the whole online dating thing, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that once I find someone that'll be a good fit for me and someone that will have my best interest in mind and someone that I can be 100% real with. But I'm pretty sure that when that person comes along, I'll know, and regardless of what anyone thinks, when that happens, I'll know. I mean, that's the one thing that online dating has about traditional dating means. It's all about being patient and also about knowing how to read a situation. And you may see this a lot on your social media feeds from time to time, but a lot of people have trouble. A lot of people confuse someone who is only supposed to be there for a little while with someone that's going to be there for life. And I feel like, if you're able to, it's not easy to be able to tell the two apart in a lot of ways, but if the signs are pretty there that the relationship isn't going to work out, they feel like, as hard as it may be, the best thing for you and them would be to end the relationship. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting just thinking about it. I mean, and I'm pretty sure at this point, a lot of you guys were expecting me to talk about talk about what exactly I'm looking for in someone, but um, I feel like that's more of a personal conversation that I would have to have with someone. I'm not the kind of thing I'm going to put in a video form anyway. And yeah, I mean, I have my list. I have my checklist. For those that want to know and are concerned, like if I'm just gonna go with anybody, nope. I have my checklist, and yeah, I have my checklist of things that I'm looking for in someone, and things that only I would care about. I mean, I could be damned about someone else's opinion. If I found someone that I felt would be a right fit for me, I'm gonna stick with it and follow. I'm gonna stick with my instincts pretty much. And I mean, it's not just about me. I mean, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's my choice. I mean, it's all about choices with me in terms of whether I find someone either online or meet someone in person that think we might have good chemistry and go from there. Yeah. And no, again, I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. But yeah, I mean, I'd say for those of you out there that are looking for someone online, I'd say the best thing you can do for yourself is just learn to be happy to be single. Because I feel like if you're unable to cope with being single right now, you're not going to be happy. You're probably not going to be happy when you find someone. It's all about you need to be able to love yourself and be happy with yourself before you can commit to a relationship with someone else. And regardless of whatever you're going through, if you find someone that has made it clear that they will be there for you regardless of what you're dealing with, whether it's employment hardships, living hardships, illness, family drama, etc., etc. If you find someone that's still willing to be with you despite all that, that's the kind of person that you want to be with for life. I mean, it's like I've said, the two people that I've been talking to through video chat recently. The person that you spend your life with should also be your best friend. It's someone that you can share the highs and lows of your life with, and someone that you can just be real with 100% of the time and don't feel like you have to fake anything with them, and someone that doesn't mind being real with you and sharing everything with them. I mean, as cheesy and philosophical as that suddenly sounds, it's the truth. And studies have shown that relationships built on more than just spur of the moment and because we love each other tend to be the relationships that last the longest. Like, yeah, it's just about finding more than just we love each other just as a reason to stay together, or more than just we have kids together, you know? Because that's another thing that unfortunately a lot of people, and that's another trap, unfortunately, some people find themselves in, and I'm going to talk about this a bit more in my blog, but some people really do think if they have a child with someone, then that means that they'll stay together or that'll keep their relationship together. And what ends up happening a lot of the times is you end up resenting the other person because you feel like you're stuck in an impossible situation. And it's It's pretty. It's number one. It's pretty unfair to the child, obviously, and number two, it's like you made a selfish decision. You made a pretty selfish decision. You and your partner made a pretty selfish decision to bring a child into the world, even though just for the sake of trying to preserve a relationship that was clearly falling apart. And it's like, you and them need to deal with the consequences of that choice. And I feel like it's because there are so many people out there, mostly men, who don't have a problem having sex with women and then making a child and then disappearing. It's because of mostly guys, but mostly guys that do that. It's because of situations like that the sanctity of marriage that a lot of conservatives like to talk about being for other reasons. It's the reason that relationships these days don't last very long. It's because, number one, because people don't respect each other. Number two, because people aren't considerate and people are not working willing to compromise, and that's what relationships are about. They're about compromise, not just one side, but mutual. And it's like, if you're not willing to compromise, then you have no business. Number one, getting married first and foremost, and number two, letting things get too serious. And well, I didn't intend for this to become a over 20-minute episode or less. Hopefully, this will be food for thought. Hopefully, this will be food for thought, either for those that are new, that are still looking for someone, or for those that unfortunately had a pretty bad relationship experience and are wondering, will they ever be able to love again? And since I'm at this point, I'm going to keep going. And while it's true that I don't have any personal experience with this, I have talked to a number of people who who are dealing with some tough times right now. Someone that you thought someone that you loved and thought loved you back, come to turn out that either because of a misunderstanding, because of some things that have gone on in your life, it comes to turn out that wasn't the case at all. And it's like, it's like, what was the last year for? What was the last decade for? And I'm pretty sure two people in particular that I have in mind that are going to see this video are going to know that I'm talking about them. But out of respect for them, I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. But yeah, it's pretty tough just dealing with that, and also in some cases dealing with having to take care of the kids that are left behind. And it's like, how do you explain that if you have kids from a broken relationship? Like, why the father or mother isn't around anymore, or how come I didn't see my mother or father anymore? How do you deal with that? Again, this isn't my personal experience. I'm just pretty much talking secondhand from experience, first from what I've been hearing from other people very recently, and it's pretty hard to come to terms with that, and also wondering seriously, am I worth being loved, or will this just be it? Like, will I ever find anyone that'll actually show me that they'll actually help me get over this? And it's honestly, there's no easy answer. I've talked to, like I said before, I've talked to two people that were like pretty much at the point where I'm done, and they've said straight because of how they were hurt and what they're dealing with now. It's like why even bother? And it really is a shame. And I feel like me being me, and me being the kind of person I am, I do my best to try to talk to people, not just online but in person. And as weird as it sounds, I'm not naive enough to actually believe that everyone is as open-minded as I am in regards to that kind of a situation. But yeah, the most important thing I feel, if you've come out of a really bad relationship situation, is number one, give yourself time to heal. That's the most important thing. And number two, don't rush into your next relationship. And second and third, don't give up on people. Even though the world is clearly becoming a much more cold-hearted place, there are good people out there, and it's just all about finding someone who will, number one, be okay with your situation, and number two, someone who will go out of their way to show you that they're not going to treat you how you were treated before. And obviously, another thing is to just trust your instincts as well, because if it feels wrong, just know that you can walk away at any time. I'm not going to delay this any further. It's been almost 25 minutes, but I feel like I was able to get a lot done, and I feel like if anyone was able to learn from this and get inspired, I'm happy I could help. I'm going to do some more video podcasts on other subjects, but until then, be nice out there.